May be seated, friends. Well, hey, Tyler's been off the platform for a number of weeks, so I thought we'd have him do double duty this morning and help with the message, too. To see how quickly I offload my responsibilities onto others. That's how we do things. But in all seriousness, I've gotten to know Tyler's story a lot better over the past few months, and I thought that it was really worth sharing with you all because it's just been awesome to see God's grace at work in Tyler's life and in the lives of many folks here at our congregation. So Tyler, we had talked about, going way back in your life, church has always been a part of it. What was your early experience with church like?
It was church, and more church. It was, no, I'm serious. It was Tuesday night Bible studies, followed by Thursday night services, then Sunday morning services, and then Sunday evening services. And this was a very charismatic church, so it wasn't like your hour-long service like we usually have. It was more 2 to 2.5 hours for one service. So it was very church-filled, and then if you're part of the choir, you're there from 4:30 on Sunday evening till about 8:30 into service, or 9 if you're lucky to get out that early. So it was very church-filled.
Nice. And what were lifestyle expectations like at that church?
Lifestyle expectations, guys had to wear jeans. Nobody could wear cut-off sleeveless shirts, guys or girls. Guys had to have short hair. They couldn't let their hair be long. No facial hair. I'd probably have gotten kicked off the stage. I wouldn't have been allowed on the stage, for one. Girls, nobody could wear jewelry. Girls couldn't have ear piercings or have necklaces. They had to wear skirts. They couldn't cut their hair. They had to have it up. Like I said, no jewelry, no makeup, guys included. And so no alcohol whatsoever, no cigarettes whatsoever, no drugs whatsoever. That was all kind of stuff was forbidden.
Wow. So how to go from a place where a lot of legalism then, or a lot of
very
rules.
ruly.
Okay, very ruly, and to go from that to then a struggle with alcohol, which was outlawed. How did that transition kind of happen?
So it first started off as I was growing up. It was just church is what I was used to, and then growing up with how much, and I'm not saying that worshiping is wrong, learning is wrong, getting to know Christ better, to have a better relationship is wrong. But just the way that it panned out with having so many rules and so much church service, and I was a little kid. During the summer, it was like, oh, we got to go to church again. I'm just having fun with my friends outside. It was kind of a turnoff, honestly, with all the rules. It was like walking a tightrope, and if you stepped one way or the other, you're gonna fall. You're sayonara.
So a lot of guilt as well, then.
Yeah.
So when you first started drinking, there were probably others involved in that too, I'm guessing. Were they?
Yeah,
what kind of influence were they in your life?
It was just social drinking starting off, and my friends, they were Christian. If you asked them, they would say they're Christians. They weren't like Mother Teresa going out and actively, seeking out the poor and giving to them or feeding the hungry and stuff. But if you asked them, then yeah, they'd say that I was a Christian.
So when would you say that drinking kind of became a problem then?
Early to mid-20s, I started going through some depression, and I obviously didn't like how I felt. So I turned to alcohol, and it just numbed how I felt. And I liked not feeling that feeling of hurt or being sad.
And that's something I'm sure that many folks here can associate with. We know what pain is like. We know what it's like to hurt. We know what it's like to go through difficult or disappointing times where we make mistakes or others let us down or whatever it is. And it's easy, it's tempting to turn to other things that aren't the right solutions, but they're temporary fixes or temporary solutions. There's a line between you controlling drinking, drinking in a social setting, and drinking controlling you. When would you say that you kind of crossed that line, I guess?
It was after the point of being over the depression. I was past that phase, but I was still finding myself every now and again allowing it to go too far.
And so that lots of guilt, of course, I'm sure, when that would happen.
At first there was that guilt, but then I woke up. I was fine. I didn't have boils on my tongue or anything from drinking. I didn't have leprosy. I wasn't struck down by lightning, so I figured it was okay. So it was kind of moved past the point of guilt then.
So the next few years, how then would you kind of cope with that problem, those challenges?
I would kind of seek out other stuff to try to focus my time on other things, but somehow it eventually creeped back in.
I understand. And it's easy to do, isn't it, friends? The things in our life that we struggle with, those things tend to come back around, and they re-enter our lives, sometimes at times that are not very opportune times. Sometimes we're in moments of weakness. We all have those, don't we? Who's never been there before? We've all been there in one way or another. Now, through the past, I think one of the things that I was asked a lot of times was that, 12, 13 weeks ago, you stood up here and confessed a struggle with alcohol. And I had a lot of folks say, how on earth did Tyler ever have the courage to do that? I would never, ever, ever want to have to do that and tell all those people. How did you have the courage to do that?
It wasn't easy. I remember, especially first time Saturday coming up, it didn't really get any easier, the Sunday morning services either, but it was like walking through a fog to get up here, and it was like walking through water too, physically trying to get up here. And then, but I had a great support system, John and Marie and Maddie and my parents. You can do this. And then eventually, once you guys found out, all of you guys you can do this. You were the encouragement behind me. So
that's awesome. What was now one of the things you committed to, and this was just total sobriety. What would you say the impact of that in your life has been?
Total sobriety has brought along a lot better focus for me. I've been able to focus on things a lot more. My drive is increased a lot more. My desire to get work done and to do work is like way up here now, and it's awesome, honestly.
That's very cool. Now, after kind of making the confession, starting this process, were there fears that you had?
Yeah, my biggest fears was how everybody, they had known me as being the worship leader here for almost 2 years, almost 3 years, I can't even remember now, but for a little while. And I was like, how are they going to think of me? What are they going to see? Are they going to say he shouldn't even be up there? He's got a problem. He doesn't deserve to be up on the stage. But honestly, it was the exact opposite. Everybody came up to me afterward. Hey, you got this. I got your back. So many people gave me their numbers, encouraged me, saying, I love you. That's all I had to say. And I just knew I could make it.
That's awesome. Was there ever a time you wanted to quit?
No, not once. Because even if I couldn't do it on my own, if I said it's not for me, it's for every single one of you people out there who said that you could do it, who gave me their love, who gave me their encouragement, who gave me their compassion and their support.
That's awesome. See what happens when the church is the church? Friends, this is not, Tyler, I'm so proud of you, this journey that you've made, and that's awesome, but I know that it's not just been your journey, it's been our journey together. And church, you all have done just such an awesome job of stepping forward and supporting Tyler, and I know that his mom and dad and Maddie and others we greatly appreciate that so much. So Tyler, thank you for sharing with us today. We just really appreciate you so much.